See, in the last lectures, we talk about inversions of 4-bar and single slider crankchain mechanism. In single slider, we completed first and second inversion. That is, first inversion is IC engine. In the second one, we talk about Whitworth quick return motion mechanism and rotary internal combustion engine, or we can also call it the Gnome engine. They are the applications of second inversion of a single slider crankchain. Now, we'll complete next inversions of a single slider crankchain. Let's go through it. So I hope you've seen that in the first inversion, the first link is fixed, the frame is fixed. While in second inversion, this link number 2 is fixed. Now instead of fixing either link number 1 or 2, if we fix link number 3, then what kind of inversion we obtain, that we'll discuss today. Of course, we'll see next also. So let's go through third inversion, and the diagram will be same here. Only difference is instead of 2, this link number 3 is fixed. So let's see this diagram. Is it visible and audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, you can see here, this one is a slider crankchain mechanism, and which link we fixed here is link number 3. In the first case, in the first inversion, we fixed link number 1, that is frame. In second inversion, we fixed link number 2. But now instead of 1 or 2, we fix link number 3. And when link number 3 is fixed, what kind of inversions we obtain, that we'll see. One example of inversion number 3 is oscillating cylinder engine. This diagram you can see. In this case, crank. Now see, same diagram is there. Just it is, you can see it is rotated through some angle. Let's say 180 degree it is rotated, and or you can say replica of this only. So in this case, this crank, or you can say here also it is crank. This one is crank. This link number 3 is fixed. Now here, when this crank rotates, you can see this. When this crank rotates, this piston rod, or you can say link number 1, attached to link number 2, will reciprocate inside this cylinder. That is link number 4. So how many links? 4 links. Link number 1 is this piston rod. Link number 2 is crank. Link number 3 is connecting rod, and link number 4 is cylinder. But what we do here, this connecting rod is pivoted, or you can say connected to this piston rod by means of pin joint. So when this crank rotates, what happens? This piston rod will reciprocate inside the cylinder, and this whole assembly, or you can say the cylinder, will oscillate about this pin joint, about the center. As this cylinder oscillates, along with its primary work, that is it reciprocates also. As the cylinder oscillates above this joint, it is also called as a oscillating cylinder engine, because this engine, cylinder engine, oscillate along with its normal function. Like when crank rotates, this piston will reciprocate, and additional to this, this cylinder in which this piston and crank mechanism, piston mechanism is fitted, is oscillated about this point. Hence, this mechanism is called as an oscillating cylinder engine. And why we call this inversion of single slider? Because in this case, we use single slider mechanism, and it is third inversion because link number 3, which is connecting rod, is fixed here. I will show you its animation. Basic is clear. Oscillating cylinder engine, how it works?
Yes, sir.
So what happened? Yes, input is what here? Which one is input link?
Link 2.
Link 2 is input, and it rotates. It makes complete rotation. When this link 2 makes complete rotation, what happened to piston rod 1? It will reciprocate. And when this reciprocate, what happened to the cylinder frame? Yes?
Oscillation.
Oscillate. And hence this mechanism is called the oscillating cylinder engine. Okay, I'll show you its animation. Okay, is it visible to you now?
Yes, sir.
This YouTube video. Okay. Now see again, this diagram you can see here. This arrow is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can see this one is crank. Already I shown you schematic diagram in the on slides. This one is crank which rotates about this joint. This one is piston rod. Now crank is link number what? You know link number. Which one is link this? Crank is link number 2. Piston rod is link number 1. It is entire assembly, and this cylinder is link number 4. While the fixed link is link number 3. Actually, link number 3 is not shown here, but you can see the link joining this 2 and this link is called as the link number 3, which is fixed here. Okay, and now see how it rotates. This crank is rotating and the cylinder, this is pin joint here, you can see. About the joint, the cylinder is oscillating. Clear? So along with the reciprocation, the cylinder is oscillating. Links are clear here, all of you? Link numbers and links.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now tell me. This one is which link it is?
Link number 2.
Yes, link number 2. The piston rod
1.
1. What about the cylinder?
That is
4. And where is link 3 then, tell me?
so link 3 is bit.
Link 3 is fixed link, okay?
Yeah.
And you can see now it is this point also fixed point. This is also fixed point. So if we join a line joining these two links, it is with link number 3. And what we can see here, this piston, this cylinder, that is 4th link, is forming a pair, a revolute pair about this pair, about this link. That is link number 3. So we can see about this point it will oscillate. Whenever this link number 4 is connected to link number 3, about that point the cylinder oscillates and it forms a turning pair. So link number 4, that is cylinder, with link number 1. Now this we can say this stand is considered as fixed link about which it oscillate. So link number 4 with link number 3 will form a turning pair, and about that point this cylinder will oscillate. The simple mechanism, oscillating cylinder engine mechanism. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this one is third inversion. What we talk about now. Slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next important, actually again, now tell me which inversion it is. It is third, first, second. Observe the mechanism and tell me which one is this inversion. Either it is first inversion. Now you know how to identify inversion. Depends on which link is fixed. Remember, this is not Whitworth quick return motion mechanism. Of course, it is quick return motion mechanism, but it is not Whitworth. It is crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism. How it works, I will explain in detail. Before that, you tell me only which inversion it is. Third, fourth, or you can say 1, 2.
Third inversion. Third inversion.
On what basis you are saying this is third inversion?
So third link is fixed here.
That is what simple answer, and okay, means you understand. Now see, before saying all this mechanism, just focus on the links. What I'm discussing. See link number 2. Which one is this link number 2? Crank. Clear? I hope arrow visible. If arrow visible, then only it is clear. Yes, is it visible? I'm
Yes,
showing
sir.
with arrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this link number 2 is a crank. Link number 2, and this one is link number 3, which is fixed. Now fourth link. You know which one is fourth link here?
Slotted bar.
Slotted bar or frame, you can say this one. Okay. This slotted frame is link number 4, and this slotted frame is connected to, of course, link 3 by means of turning pair. Link 2 and 3 are connected by means of turning pair. Again, this link number 2 is connected to slider. We are talking about single slider mechanism. One slider, there is one sliding pair, and 3 turning pairs must be there. So you can see here link number 2 is connected to sliding pair, slider by means of turning pair. But the slider slides inside the link number 4. So it forms a prismatic pair. So which 4 pairs? Again, turning pair between 2 and 3, turning pair between 3 and 4. Then, yes, turning pair between 2 and 1, and sliding pair between 1 and 4.
4.
Okay, so these are the 4 pairs, 4 lower pairs. Now, how it works? It's very simple. In this position, let's say B, C, A up to P. But we can say this P point is the end point of this mechanism. Basically, when you talk about 4-bar mechanism, I'm saying 4-link mechanism up to here, link number 2, 3, 1, and 4. But in order to use this like a Whitworth quick return motion mechanism, we add one more link here, that is PR. PR is one additional link called as a connecting rod. And at the end of that PR link, we attach one ram, or you can say a tool. Again, this is used in a shaper machine, used for cutting stroke. Okay. Now there are 3 positions shown for this mechanism. I told you basic mechanism is clear to you. It consists of 4 links. In addition to this, we are attach connecting rod, that is link number 5, and one tool at the end of the connecting rod, just for use. Now, intermediate position is shown in this case. So this you can see A, C, B, P, R is the intermediate position. Now let's say rotate this crank in opposite, retract back it, and moves from B to B1. Let's say I'm moving from B to B1. Now this crank is at B1. When crank is at B1, what happens? The slider will move inside. You can see this crank makes complete rotation. The slider will slide inside this frame. So when crank is moving from B to B1, the slider will also here. And the frame, slotted frame AP is not at AP now, but it is moving from AP to AP1. So when I move this crank from AB to AB1, the slotted frame is moving from AP A to P, that is AP to AP1. Of course, it oscillates about the A. So this is one position, and of course, when AP1 is here, this R, which is initially here, will move to R1, and the tool is moving towards extreme left position. So AP1 R1 is extreme left position of tool. I discussed two positions. One is intermediate and one is extreme left. Now tell me, when this crank is moving from AB1 to AB2, what about next positions of the links? Crank is moving from this B1 to B2.
AB to R2.
You observe carefully, when this crank is moving from B1 to B2, this P1, which is here, this link AP, is moving from P1 to P2. So it travels more path, longer path it will travel. As the angle is more, you can see the path of the P1 also more, P1 to P2. So it will move from P1 to P2. The tool, which is at R1, is moving from R1 to R2. So this is called as a cutting stroke or a forward stroke. So forward stroke occurs when the crank turns through angle beta. That is from B1 to B2. Tool is moving from P1 to P2, and the end point of the oscillator is moving from P1 to P2, and the tool is moving from R1 to R2. The reverse will happen when this crank is moving from this B2 to B1 further. It will turn angle alpha. So when it moves from B2 to B1, let's say crank is moving from B2 to B1, slider is here. So when it is moving down, the slider retracts this oscillating link from P2 to P1. It is moving from this path again. The path is same, P2 to P1, but it occurs at a faster rate, quicker, because this angle turn by crank during this time as compared to forward stroke is less. As the angle is less, this return stroke from P2 to P1 is faster. That is quick return. I already explained in the Whitworth mechanism. Cutting stroke is our working stroke, while the return stroke is ideal stroke. So it must be faster, it must be quicker. Is it clear to all how this basically mechanism is working? It is simple.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Any doubt here?
So in this, which link is making 360 rotation?
Can you think about this? It's just simple. One link is making 360 rotation. Only one link. I'm not saying link number 1, but you observe it and tell me, please. Of course, it will be crank. Remember, crank. The link which makes complete rotation is called as a crank. And which link is called as a crank here? Crank means which link? The link which makes complete
Link
rotation.
number 2.
Link number 2. You can see here. It is initially here. B position. I told you it. Take it retract back. You can move further also. Let's say it is moving from B1 to B2, and further from B2 to B1. So it makes from B1 to B, B to B2, and again B2 to B1. So it makes complete rotation. And when it moves from B1 to B2, forward stroke. It moves from B2 to B1, return stroke. Now you observe. Good question. The crank makes complete 360 rotation. But what about this link AP? Link AP, I'm saying AP1.
It oscillates.
It oscillates about point A. Initially, it is at, let's say, at extreme left, it is at AP1. It moves from AP1 to AP2. And again AP2 to AP1. So it oscillates. Link number 3 is fixed. What about slider now?
It reciprocates.
It reciprocates inside the frame. That is link number 4. Good. Okay. I'll show its animation also for more clarity. Okay, is it visible to you, this screen, YouTube screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, I told you in this case, in this kind of in these videos, generally our mechanism, that is slider kind mechanism, is shown in this different way. On what basis? Let's say observe the circle diagram, and how we can say it is slider kind mechanism. On what basis we can say? How many turning pairs are able to? Yes.
3 turning pairs and 1 sliding pair.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can see here this A, B, C, D represent pairs. So A is turning pair, B is turning pair. Actually, what it means, see, A is shown with complete circle. So it means A and B are the complete turning pairs, while C is partial turning pair. And when there are 2 complete turning pairs, means the link which connect these 2 pairs or joining them is a complete rotation. It's having complete rotation. So 2 is a crank, we can say. So 2 is a crank. Now you can see again link number 1 is having turning pair to another side and sliding pair to another side, while 4 is having a sliding pair here and partial turning pair here, while link number 3 is fixed. As we know, link number 3 is fixed, means it is a yes,
Inversion 3.
Inversion 3. Okay, that also you can remember. Okay, now let's see further. This audio is audible to you?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now see here, this one is again mechanism. Now BC. Now tell me which one is linked BC now? Let's say number.
3.
We'll talk about number. Yes.
3.
Link number 3. Now tell me this link crank is link number 2. This one is frame. And now actually what happened here for this animation? Frame is not shown, but you can say one link is shown. Of course, the slider is reciprocating over that frame only. Understand? Inside the frame or on the frame, but the link is same. Difference समझ लेगा? In case of that diagram,
Yes, sir.
we shown that this slider is reciprocating inside the frame, but here it is shown on that frame. Understand? Basically, what is our important for us? There is sliding pair between this slider and this link number 4, and slider is called as link number 1. Say, so there is sliding pair. So turning pair here between the link 3 and link number 1. Turning pair between link number 2 and link number 3, turning pair between link number 2 and link number 1, while sliding pair between link number 4 and link number 1. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is what let's say. Remember, when extreme left position is achieved, you might see in the diagram whenever this slide when this crank is perpendicular to this slot this frame. So when extreme left position is achieved in this case, when this crank is perpendicular to this link number 4, oscillating link. Remember, can anyone tell me when extreme position achieved in case of Whitworth? How to identify it is extreme position geometrically? Which
When
link to another link? Yes, please. If you remember in Whitworth mechanism, when that shortest link is perpendicular to output link, at that time extreme position achieved. Remember that you have to remember for competitive examination like GATE when you are preparing, then the questions asked on this geometry. So there is only this difference. In this way only you can remember these two mechanisms. In extreme positions, which link is perpendicular to another link? It is one point of comparison. In this case, I am saying in case of crank and sorted lever mechanism, whenever this crank is perpendicular to slotted frame, or you can say this link number 4, when this crank is perpendicular to this link number 4, then we can say extreme position is achieved. Now just see this animation. You can see how this crank is rotating. Now I think you got the answer. Which link makes complete rotation? You can see this crank makes complete rotation. This is different positions. All of you observe motion of slider. How slide is reciprocating as well as it is rotating along with the crank. Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Slider is reciprocating over this frame. At the same time, it rotates with the crank. You observe it again. See the slider motion. So this link will oscillate. This guide or on which the slider is reciprocating is oscillating. Slider is rotating as well as sliding, and the crank makes complete rotation while link number 3 is fixed. BC is fixed. Now, in order to use this mechanism, what we do, we'll add some links to this mechanism, as I told you in the slides. So this is what additional link. You can see. This is our mechanism, link number 3 or BC, the slider, crank, and this slotted frame. Or you can say guide, we can say here. Why I say guide? Because it, the slider is having a reciprocating motion with respect to the guide or this oscillating link. And then in order to use this mechanism, we add this link here, additional link called as connecting link. And at the end of that link, we attach some tool. This link is added, and this one is tool. This one is path of the tool. You can see. This is forward stroke, return, forward, and return. You observe forward and return motion carefully and see the time for forward and return. Now you can see this diagram. Now tell me, when the crank is moving, this is your fixed link, let's say BC, BA double dash and BA dash are the positions of the crank. When crank is moving from BA double dash to BA dash, which stroke occurs?
Forward stroke.
Forward stroke
Forward stroke.
or cutting stroke.
Or you can say cutting stroke, right? When it is moving from BA dash to BA double dash, what happens? Return stroke.
Return stroke.
Now which will be faster here?
Return
stroke.
Return.
But why it is faster?
angle.
Because that is
Angle.
Which angle we'll talk about? Remember, angle turned by crank. Input link. Are you getting? Input link rotates fast, and actually input link is not, we can say rotate fast, but input link is rotating with a constant angular velocity. Theta is equal to omega t. Omega is constant, so theta is proportional to time. If this theta is more, time is more. Theta is less, time is less. Very simple. So as this angle is more, time required is more, and it is useful stroke. As the angle is less, time required is less, and that's why design point of view, we must design a mechanism in such a way that the return must be quicker, and hence we should design in such a way that it will travel more angle during cutting, and it will travel less angle during return stroke. So this is motion of slider shown in this geometry 2D diagram. You can see these are the extreme position. This is the extreme left position, this is the extreme right position. And observe here, at extreme left position, this crank is perpendicular to this. Yes, perpendicular to what? Which link?
Lever. Link.
Or oscillating link, we can say. And in our case, we take it as link number
1.
1. So this link number 2, which is crank, is perpendicular to link number 1, that is output link, we can say, in case of a crank and slotted lever mechanism. compare this mechanism with quick return, then compare it with Whitworth, then that your study will be more easy. This is path of slider and the extreme positions of this slotted link. And you know how to find this quick return ratio? It is forward stroke of angle upon, this is forward stroke of triangle upon return stroke of triangle. So to find quick return ratio, I must know this angle, let's say forward angle and return angle, and how to find that angle, how that angle we can find out based on the geometry. So if, now tell me, let's say this is theta r, I'm saying, angle made by this A double dash and A dash with B. So this angle is theta r and this angle is theta f. So to get theta r, let's say consider triangle A double dash BC or A dash BC. In that case, if crank length is known to you and any one of these, either fixed link or this link A dash C is known to you, then we can find this angle made by A dash BC. Once A dash BC is known to you, if you twice it, we'll get return stroke angle. Means from geometry of this mechanism, we can find out this angle. And once angles are known, once theta r is known, we can find out theta f, because 360 minus theta r is nothing but your theta f. So approach is same in both examples, that is either quick return or both quick returns, crank and slotted lever or Whitworth. From geometry, find out the angles and use the angles to find out quick return ratio. Now we can see this animation, basically how this mechanism looks like in 3D. You can see now, again, it is same mechanism. This is crank. This one is slider. In this case, it is sliding over this guide. So this one is your oscillating link. This is your connecting link. And at the end, we attach some tool to cut some part. Now observe forward and return stroke carefully here. Now tell me forward stroke and return stroke. My question to you is, in this case, this red portion and green portion, which one is forward and which one is return?
Green is forward.
Red portion is forward and green is return.
Yes, red is forward. Red is forward. Angle turn, red one is more angle. You can see, observe. Those are saying green. You observe this angle. The red portion is more angle, while the green portion is smaller angle. So more angle means forward, and the less angle means return. Keep in mind, very simple concept. So this one is forward and taking more time. You check it carefully. Now see return stroke. Faster. And you observe motion of slider also, how it moving. It slides as well as rotating. This is one example. Another example is oscillating engine. Already I shown to you this link already, this mechanism already. You see again in some different look. This crank rotates and this pump, or you can say this cylinder, will oscillate about the joint. I hope both mechanisms are clear, both inversions are clear. Hello?
Yes.
Okay. PPT visible now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now see last inversion of single slider crank mechanism. Here, before, see, remember these diagrams I drawn, and purposefully I take screenshot of my notes on the slides. You can see now here for understanding purpose, because 3D always not give you correct solution. See here, this is your slider diagram mechanism. Now tell me, the when first inversion is obtained, which link is fixed?
Link 1.
Link 1, that is frame. When I fix this link number 2, then you obtain second inversion.
Inversion 2.
Examples are known to you. Just we seen link number 3 inversions when this link 3 is fixed, and the last one when link number 4 is fixed, inversion we obtain is inversion number 4. And in order to use this inversion, what we do is, now see this diagram carefully. The same diagram I am drawing here with some modifications. What the modifications are, you observe here. This link number 4, which is fixed, is a slider actually. What we do here, in order to use this mechanism in actual practice, what we do, this 4th link is made, now you see second diagram, is made in this type of frame. Actually it is fixed, so we can form in any shape. I just form this shape in terms of cylinder. Now we know that, so is it clear what we do here? Link number 4 is made in the form of a frame or a cylinder, which is already fixed link. Piston, which is fixed link, is made in the form of a cylinder. Clear? At least first point is clear, how this link number 4
Yes.
is made. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now second thing. Now tell me, which kind of pair is formed between link number 1 and 4? Observe first diagram. Which kind of pair is formed between 1 and 4?
Sliding pair.
Sliding pair. You know that. Sliding 1 and 4.
Sliding.
So sliding pair is formed. Okay. So you can see now this link number 1, which is already here also and here also, is made in the form of a piston. Reverse case. Link number 4 जो slider था उसको हमने fix बना दिया, and now the link number 1, which was reciprocity inside the slider having piston, is made in the form of piston now. So what happened now? Again, link number 1 and 4 is forming sliding pair only. Remember, in inversions, absolute motion will not change. Relative motion between the links does not change. Relative motion remains same. Maybe absolute motion with respect to fixed link get changed. This is what advantage of inversion. Here, absolute motion may get changed with respect to fixed link, but relative motion between two different links will remain same. That means link number 1 and 4, in any inversion we see, we talk about any inversion. Link number 1 and 4, motion is sliding, the pair form is sliding only. You take any inversion. Any inversion, okay? So this is what advantage of inversions, and that's why we are going for inversions, okay? So, yes, we talk about, here it is, okay? So link number 1 and 4 is forming sliding pair. Now what happened? Link number 1 and other pairs are turning pairs. So what we do here, in order to use this mechanism, now see, this link number 3 is connected to link number 4 by means of a turning pair. So what we do on the body of this cylinder, remember it is not inside, it is on the outside body of the cylinder. This link number 3 is attached on the outside body of cylinder by means of a turning pair. So here it is from turning pair. And here also, what we do here, in order to use this, we extend this link number 2. See this arrow, if it is visible to you. If not visible, tell me at that point only. I extend this link number 2 to make handle type of kind of a link. So I extend this link number 2 from here, this point, and we attach this link number 3 by means of pin joint here. Now what happened actually? When I rotate this link number 3, there is one oscillating motion of link number 3 as well as sliding motion of link number 1 inside the frame. This kind of inversions, this kind of applications, you might see in hand pump. Example of this one is hand pump. Have you seen hand pump anywhere?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
In villages.
Yes, please. Hello. Its application is hand pump means
Sir, to get water.
Excellent.
Yeah.
yes, to extract water.
Yeah.
So same mechanism is here. You can see this one is handle that we use, that we press to get water out. Okay. Actually, even though it looks like a, you can see this link number 1, which is only reciprocating, but actually, okay, I'll show you one more animation so that in more clear. At least get a basic idea about this mechanism.
Yes.
So different links and how they are forming pair with each other. Of course, it remains same. That is 3 turning pairs and 1 sliding pair. But what we do here, the link number 4, which was a piston, is made in the form of a frame or cylinder, while link number 1 is reciprocating inside the link number 4. And this is also same example, that is pendulum pump or bull engine, in which you can see this is frame or cylinder which is fixed here. This link number 2, which is crank, having partial motion now, not complete rotation, while it's connecting with lot 3 is also just transferring this motion of 2 to this link number 1, and the link number 1 will reciprocate. Okay, I'll show you its animation. I hope I share entire screen. Okay. Is it visible to you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now see same structure here. This is fourth inversion we are talking about, and you see here this one is connecting link. This one is second link which I extended up to S point, while this link number A is this joint A is connecting link number 1 and link number 2 at A. I told you there is turning pair. Actually, it can make complete rotation, but due to some constraints, it will not making rotation in actual practice. But it can rotate, and of course, it forms a sliding pair with respect to this frame. So simple inversion, simple mechanism. So this link will make partial rotation. This is nothing but link number 3. You can see here in this diagram, you can see this link number 3 is connected by means of one turning pair on one side and partial turning pair at C. Means here it is having complete turning pair, but at C it is having partial turning pair. So it will not make complete rotation, but it is having partial rotation. Link number 3, which is nothing but BC. While now, which link makes a complete rotation from this diagram? Tell me. From the circle diagram.
Link number 2.
Of course, because having both side turning pair. Okay. So link number 2. I'll share these links to you. These are good videos. I generally refer this from YouTube. Kinematics with microstation. Good animations. No need to take effort, and you will understand easily. That's why I prefer these videos. I may share on Google Classroom also, just for reference. Okay. You observe link number 4 is fixed here. Last 4, and other turning pairs are known to you. So let's go through the animation again. Slider. Now you can observe this one is nothing but link number 1, and it is having sliding pair on one side, that is here, and turning pair on another side, that is A. At A it is having turning pair, at D, or you can say at this end, it is having sliding pair. This one is slider, and it is shown at D also. Again, just same diagram. I told you this AB is having turning pair, it makes complete rotation. Now see how it is having complete rotation. How this link 2, which may have complete rotation. Actually, in actual practice, we don't rotate that handle completely, but it may, but it is not rotating because of our constraint we are providing in that application. Let's see how it can make complete rotation. You see this carefully, yeah? So which link can make complete rotation?
Link
AB.
AB.
Yes, it can make complete rotation. You observe again, if you are confused, again see it carefully. So sliding motion, AB is complete rotation, AC is sliding, and BC is having partial rotation. And this is what I'm talking about. Hand pump example, the same. I told you this piston, which is link number 4, is made in the form of a cylinder. This link number 1 is formed in the form of a piston rod at the end, which makes reciprocation, which reciprocates here. This link number 2 is connected to link number 1 by means of turning pair. We extend it up to here, and link number 3 is connected to this this link by means of turning pair at one end, turning pair at another end. But here you can see it is not on inside, it is on the outside portion. So there is no relation, because when I draw 2D diagram, some students are confused. Sir, if it is inside, then how it can make rotation? How it can slide? Actually, it is inside portion. This link number 1 is reciprocating inside, and this link number is on the outside portion. So there is no direct connection between them. And this is a hand pump frame. The same link is shown here. Okay. This one is here. So this one is handle. Just to, you can see now motion now. You see, this is having oscillating motion. This is having oscillating motion. It is reciprocating motion. Even though there are some constraints because of the applications. Now see, now it is not rotating completely, but just oscillating. I'll show again in actual case. You see this. This is what inversion of slider mechanism. That is inversion number 4. Yes, all these are clear. Only 2 we discuss. Is it clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay. Let's now discuss double slider crankshaft mechanism. All we completed this, means all these inversions are completed. First inversion, second inversion, third inversion, and fourth inversion. This is hand pump inversion, we can say, of a single slider crankshaft. And all applications, all theory part we discuss in detail. Okay. Now last one is double slider crankshaft mechanism. In double slider crankshaft mechanism, there are 3 applications basically, like a first inversion only, like a 4-bar chain, because 2 are repeated. In 4-bar chain as well as double slider, 2 inversions are repeated. Which that 2 that we'll see later. So there are 3 applications. One is Scotch yoke mechanism, other one is Oldham's coupling, and third one is elliptical trammel. Let's say go one by one. So before going for this inversions, let's say see this diagram carefully. How many sliders are here?
2.
2.
And which link is fixed in this case?
Second link.
Number 1.
Yes. Which link is fixed?
1 1.
First.
Yes.
Link 1.
Actually, no link is fixed, na? Have you seen any link is fixed? I'm saying about this diagram. No link is fixed till now.
Yes, link fixed.
Yes. We have to fix some link. Okay, till now no link is fixed, and that whenever let's say now means what I want to tell you, it is just basic double slider crankshaft mechanism in which link number 1 is slider, link number 3 is slider, link number 2 is connecting link, and link number 4 is also a connecting link. Now my question to you is, which 2 links forms turning pair with respect to one another? There are 2 turning pairs and 2 sliding pairs.
One 3 sliding.
Yes, please. This one, tell me 2 turning pairs. Which links form turning pair with respect to one another? Turning pairs, sliding pairs, we know that, na? So link number 1 and 4, which link is formed? Basically this
Sliding pair.
frame or a guide on which link number 3 as well as link number 1 can reciprocate. Try to understand basic mechanism here. So this link number 1 with respect to 4 is forming which pair?
Sliding pair.
Sliding pair. Link number 3 with respect to 4 or with 4 is forming which
Sliding pair.
sliding pair? So there are 2
Sliding.
prismatic pairs. Prismatic means
Sliding.
sliding. Okay. So two sliding pairs and two turning pairs. Which two turning pairs?
2 or 4.
Link number 2, not 2 or 4. You observe carefully. Link number 2 is connected to the sliders by means of turning pairs. So link number 2 with 1. 1 is slider connected by turning pair here. Link number 2 with slider 3 is connected by turning pairs. So this link number 2 forms turning pair with 1 and 3, and link number 4 forms sliding pair with 1 and 3. Is it clear? Very simple. I repeat, link number 2 forms turning pair with link number
Yes,
1
sir.
and 3. Link number 4 forms sliding pair with 1 and 3. Clear or not? Array 1 and 3 is what? 1 means what and 3? 1 and 3 is what? It what represents? 1 and 3 are both are sliders.
Sliding pairs.
Sliding. Actually, when I say 1 and 3, both are sliders. 2 is connecting link, and 2 forms which pair with 1 and 3? With both sliders. Which pair?
Turning pair.
Turning pair. Fourth one is guide, we can say, on which the sliders are reciprocating. So link number 4 is forming sliding pair with respect to link 1 and 3. I repeat many times now. I hope clear to all. Basic mechanism is
Yes,
clear.
sir.
As there are two sliders instead of single slider, this mechanism is called as a double slider crank chain. Understand? Difference between single and double slider. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see,
Yes, sir.
whenever we are going to fix different links, likewise inversions now clear to all. Let's say we fix link number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. We get different mechanisms. We get different inversions, we can say. So how many inversions are possible here in this mechanism? Basic question. And how many inversions possible?
We can get 4.
3.
4.
Maximum how many inversions possible? I'm saying
4.
maximum.
4.
4 only.
4.
That is
Yes.
basic. How many? The inversions depends upon number of links.
Links.
How many links in a mechanism?
Links.
4.
4 links. So how many inversions possible?
4.
4. So if anyone asks you any question, there is a question like this, in any mechanism he asks, okay, how many inversions possible? You have to check what? You will check for
Number of links.
number of links. And if you know number of links exactly, the inversions possible, maximum number of inversions equal to number of links. It may be repeated. So in this case also, now let's say talk about first inversion we'll talk about here, and that then we will stop here. Let's say here link number 1 is fixed.
Inversion 1.
Of course, we call it as inversion 1. And let's say here this diagram. When link number 1 is fixed, means the slider is fixed. So what happened now? You see, we just modified this mechanism to use it in actual practice. Link number 1 is fixed, so this one is fixed link. You know which kind of pair is formed between 1 and 2? You observe this diagram. So which kind of pair formed between 1 and 2?
Sliding.
Turning
Turning pair.
Turning pair, na? 1 and 2. 1 is slider and 2 is connecting link. I told you many times. 2 forms turning pair with 1 and 3, and 4 forms sliding pair. Okay. So what I did here, just 1 is fixed and we know it's turning pair. So connect this 2 pair with 1 by means of turning pair. Now tell me which kind of pair this 2 forms with 3?
Turning.
pair.
Turning pair
Turning.
only. So this one is third slider and we form turning pair. So two pairs of 2 are same. 2 forms 1 turning pair is 1, 2 forms turning pair is 3. Yes or no? Now what we do, the frame, which one is link number 4, is made in the form of this slotted arrangement. Just this one is representing total frame. Total link number 4 is made in the form of a T-shaped link. Understand? This link number 4 is made in the form of a T-shaped link. Okay. And what we do here, we know that this link number 4 is forming which pair with 1? Sliding pair. So 1 is fixed. So this T-shaped link is forming sliding pair with 1. So all pairs remain same. You now check 3 with 4 forms which pair? Sliding pair. So what we do here, just we fix link number 1. Now 2 will act as a crank. 2 will act as a crank because both sides turning pair. 2 and 3 is turning pair. 2 and 3 is having a turning pair. 3 and 4 is having sliding pair. So when this crank rotates, what I'm saying, when this crank rotates, this slider will reciprocate. Now tell me what about to this link number 4?
So it will be slide only.
It will be Sliding. Now see, very simple.
It will be
Let's-
sliding.
Let's assume that this crank is moving forward. Means I'm rotating. I'm saying moving forward means it will not move forward. I'm saying it is rotating clockwise. When this crank rotates clockwise, let's say it move further. When it moves further, what happen?
It will slide and
This three will slide inside this, but it is forcing this link number 4 to move forward. Yes or no? Because this
Yes.
crank has to travel further. When it is travel further, this slider which is inside this 4 will force this link 4 to slide inside this link number 1, and it will move to this side. It will move towards right side. Further, when it moves down and coming retract back, this crank retracts back. This slider will come. This link number 4 will come back again. Means this 2 will make complete rotation, while this 4 is having reciprocating motion inside this frame, inside this cylinder. Cylinder, or you can say fixed link. Means which link is having complete rotation here?
link 2.
2.
Link 2. What about 3 motion? Link number 3.
Slide.
It slides inside the 4. Okay.
Yes.
What about motion of 4?
Also sliding.
It also
Reciprocating.
reciprocates. Okay.
Yes.
So this is first inversion when link number 1 is fixed. Opposite to this, see, link number 1 is slider. If I instead of 1 slider, if I fix 3rd slider, what happen? Same motion will achieve.
Yes.
Mechanism will remain same now. Only see change here.
Time.
This is first and this one is 3rd. So link number 3 is fixed now. Which one is crank?
2.
2 will be crank.
Time.
Yes.
Time.
Time. Just 1 minute. 1 minute only. Will end. Okay. Link number 3 is fixed here. 2 is a crank, and 2 and 1 forms a sliding pair, turning pair. 1 will move inside this, slide inside this. Again, 4 will be in terms of a T shape, and this 4 will be slided. So 2 is act as a crank. 1 will slide inside the 4th, and 4 also slide. So both cases same mechanism. Here this T-shaped frame in both inversions will slide inside the link number 1. Inside link number 1 here and inside link number 3 here, which is fixed. And this mechanism is called the Scotch yoke mechanism. So Scotch yoke mechanism is obtained when either link number 1 is fixed or 3 is fixed. The same mechanism here. This will be crank. This is reciprocating. You can see now this is also reciprocating. Last number link number this 3 also reciprocate. Okay, I think it is clear to all. Scotch yoke mechanism.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Remaining part we'll take in next lecture.